Hey guys, Big Andrew here with Thought from the Bench here, my home gym, my uninsulated, unheated garage when it's less than 30 degrees outside. Of course, brought to you by Victory Fit. Victory Fit in Jonesboro. Find them on Facebook and Instagram at Be Victory Fit. Great gym here in Jonesboro, Tennessee. They sponsor this and they sponsor me as an athlete, and I'm working out at home today, but a lot of times you can find me there. If I'm not working out here, I'm working out there. Split my time between the two. And if I'm there and you want to come by, come talk to me. I'm grateful to talk to anybody. Go there, tell them, hey, Big Andrew sent me here. You'll love this place. Really, it's a great community gym. And they put in a whole bunch more equipment in there, and it's really great. You should go check it out for sure. If you're in the area, or if you're just traveling through the area. I know we're coming to the end of what we call the holiday season right now. In a couple days will be January 1st. January 1st gets here, of course, start 2026. And so right now I want to talk to you a little bit about the coming year, about 2026. Now, probably one of my first couple podcasts, I talked about this right here behind me. I look at this every day that I come out here to work out in my home gym. I put it in front of my little barbell stand, my little rack here. I painted this right here. It says no plan B. Ready? No plan B. That's what it says right there. To reiterate the idea that you're here in the gym to accomplish a purpose. This is why you're out here, to work out, to lift heavy things, to move things, to be stronger, to be the best you can be. That's why I'm out here. Right? I want to lift. My plan is to lift heavy stuff. My plan is to get strong. My plan is to stay healthy. I have no plan B. It is only to achieve what the task is in front of me. And that's the general idea. Then you have the micro idea, the smaller idea, the no plan B. I am going to get this set. I am going to get every rep of this set. I am going to crush this. I'm going to lift this weight. There have been times when I've gotten under a weight and I didn't think I was going to get it. I didn't think I was going to get one or two, let alone the 3, 4, 5 I may have had planned. I won't say that every single time I have gotten every single rep, but even when it feels like I wasn't going to get one rep, I was still going to get at least one rep. I was going to fight for it. I was going to just charge into it. No plan B. Focus. A lot of times we build New Year's resolutions with a either unspoken or unwritten contingency plan, right? Like, what's the most popular one, right? To get in shape, lose weight, something like that, right? I say, I'm going to lose 15 pounds in 2026. Great. I'm going to lose 15 pounds unless I get sick or unless I can do this or that, or unless there's pie. There's going to be pie in 2026. Okay? Lose your 15 pounds. Eat your pie. You've got 12 months to lose 15 pounds. That's a little over a pound a month. I think you could do it. But don't say, I'm going to do all this unless. Then you've got a plan B. Don't put a plan B in there. Now, when there is a plan B, it'll manifest itself. It'll come out on its own. Okay? I remember back in 23, I was competing in a pretty decent sized show, and I had to travel a couple states over to Alabama to do it. And I was a personal trainer then, had my own personal training company, and I worked for a local business at the same time, and really loved personal training. I loved it. I love training myself. I like to learn things and learn about nutrition and all that stuff. And I also like training other people. I had a good time doing that. And I think the majority, if not all of most of my clients enjoyed it too. And I got a lot of good feedback from them. So I'm doing the training. I'm training other people. I'm training myself. And I got into the gym one day training for this competition back in 2023. This is February, late January, something like that. And the competition's like March 18th. I think it was March 18th. So we're about 2 months out, a little around there. Okay, 6 weeks maybe. And I'm squatting. And I got under the weight. I remember the weight. It was 545 pounds. I remember that weight, which for me at the time was a very manageable weight. 545. I got up under it, and I was working another job, and I was training other people, and this was late in the evening on Monday, Thursday, maybe in the evening, Thursday. It would have been Thursday evening, and I've only had like 4 hours of sleep. I was exhausted, and I hadn't had enough to eat that day. I was working outside. It was a tough day. I got up under the bar, and I got it up, and I stepped back, and I was doing a squat to a bench, right? It was about 17-inch bench. So I went down to the bench, came up, got it, right? And I was going to go for my next one. Went down for the next one, came up, and all of a sudden I felt woozy. Like all the blood drained from my head, and I blacked out, and I lost it, and I collapsed. I passed out with 545 pounds on my back. When I passed out, I fell down onto the bench, and then the bar fell down on top of me. There was space between the bar and myself, and the bar fell down on top of me, and it hit the back of my head and the back of my neck and sandwiched me. It just pancaked me like this, and that's when I came to. So I came to, and I was crumpled like this, and I was able to get out from under the bar. I had some supports there. I had them probably a little too low, but I had them in a place where it catch the bar, and I kind of rolled out, and I sat there, and I just started giggling. Like, I was crazy. I was in a lot of pain, but I was giggling. And I remember thinking, I should be able to do this. Wait, this is ridiculous. I'm stronger than this. And the guy that owns the gym, one of the owners, it was at Victory Fit, and one of the owners, Jesse, was working out there too, and he looked at me, he went, "Are you okay?" He came right in my face and said, "Are you all right, big man?" That's what he called me. He calls a lot of people that. I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. And there was a physician's assistant working out of the dumbbells with the rack over there, and she saw it happen, and she said, "Okay, don't move. I'm going to go out to my car and get my medical bag." She works at a local urgent care. So she came over, and she looked at me. She said, "Can you follow my finger? Check me for concussion and all that stuff." And I sat there. I was like, "I'm fine. I'm a little dizzy. I'm a little tired. I just haven't had enough to eat, and I haven't had enough sleep lately, and I just pushed too hard." And she looked at me. She went, "Okay, let me check the back of your head and everything. Do you want to get checked out? Do you want to go to the ER? Do you want me to call anybody for you?" I said, "No, I'm fine." I reached back there. It was a scratch. It was a little bit of blood. Not a lot. Not a big deal. And it was just, like a scrape kind of thing. Like you fall down and skin your knee kind of thing. And she said, "I think you're going to be okay." But she's like, "Check me out." She said, "Can you move your arms? Can you feel your hands and fingers?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can feel everything." She said, "Okay, as long as you're okay, you probably should finish up, and just go home." I said, "Don't worry about it. I got it." So I cleared the bar, put it back up there, threw 315 on it, squatted it 10 times, which was retarded. I should not have done that. And put all the weights away, cleaned up everything. Went and did some hip stuff, some hip thrusts and stuff on the hip thrust machine over in the other corner. And then I was like, I gotta stop. I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling woozy. I need to go home. So I went home, and I told my wife what happened, and she went, "Oh!" I was like, "Yeah, it's okay." My plan was to get the 545 for 5 for a couple sets. I got it for 2, and I couldn't get it again because I was just loopy, and I had trauma in my head and neck. And I said, I'm okay. I just need to cool off for a little bit. So that's what I did. Went back to work the next day, went back to the gym the next day, and then, over the weekend, I just kind of took it easy. Monday comes around, I get into this ego lifting battle with some punk in the gym. I end up squatting 635, personal best. Did it for 2. And the next day I couldn't bend over. I was just, it was bad. By the end of that week, I'd seen a chiropractor. I found out that I had 6 vertebrae in my thoracic, right between my shoulder blades, shifted to the right. All 6 of them, like if your back goes like this in a straight line, like this, right? All 6 of these in the middle went like that. And they were over to the side, and that's why I couldn't bend over, and I couldn't do things, and I was crooked. I was very crooked. And Dr. Mike is his name, great chiropractor here in town. Dr. Mike popped all 6 of these vertebrae back into place at the same time. I had never felt pain like that. And I wanted to punch him. I remember he said, I know 6 ways to pop your back. We'll find one that's going to fix this. I said, great. The first 2 didn't work. The third way to pop my back, this guy, he's taller than I am. He's got broad shoulders, and he grabbed a hold of me, and he hugged me and went, pow! And I went, God, good Lord, Mike! I almost knocked him out. I was just in shock. And, man, it hurt. Boy, did it ever hurt. And then I went back for several weeks before and after my competition to keep everything lined up. And then I make it to the competition. So my plan B kind of manifested itself there. I had to take it easy for a little bit and kind of work on some other things, getting ready for my show, 5.5 weeks out. Then March comes around, March 18th, the day of the show. And my deadlift back then was not very good, and it was the first event, and I placed last in my group. I was very upset about that, but at the same time, I kind of accepted it. My mind wasn't in it. I was just not there for that. I hadn't been able to click in my head yet. Second event comes up. It's a press medley. It was, what was it? It was like a axle or something. I don't remember. And then there was a log, and then there was a circus barbell. Not a dumbbell, but a circus barbell at the end. Excuse me. I think the first one had wagon wheels. It's like an 18-inch lift, right? So I've been working on my clean and press for a while. Man, I got that thing up. No problem at all. I crushed it. Got to the log, and I was like, yeah, I could do the log. I've never lifted a log in my life. Except for warm-ups earlier that day, I had never been able to lift a log. Never had my hands on a log. Grabbed the log, and I got it up, and 4 or 5 times, I could get it to here, but for some reason my brain would click off, because I couldn't get it all the way up. And it's because I had that injury still in my back. It hadn't completely healed. I still needed adjustments, still needed some work on it. Well, doing all that though, I was still the fastest to the log. I got the bar up, the first one up, the fastest of anybody in my group. Only one guy in my entire group finished all 3 implements. Nobody finished 2. I was the fastest, so I got second place in the second part of the competition, the second round of events. It was a 5-event show. When I come to the third event, and the third event was mine to lose, man. I was not going to lose. The third event was a yoke lift, not a yoke run, okay? We were just lifting it. And it's like a quarter squat. You're going to get up under the bar, under the yoke, and you're just going to and just have air underneath it. All you had to do was clear the ground with all 4 corners of the yoke. I knew I had that. I love yoke. I love lifting yoke. I love running yoke. My yoke has gotten slower, so I'm working on that, but I love yoke, man. Yoke is fun. I love yoke. I get to yoke. It's a last man standing thing. They add 90 pounds every single round, right? It comes down to me and one other guy, the guy who won the deadlift and won the overhead medley, and me, who's now I've gone from last place to I was 6th, something like that. I had jumped up halfway through or so in the rankings because there were like 12 or 15 guys in my class. And I knew that if I could beat him in this, I would get enough points to make top 3 because nobody else was going to be able to do this. And man, I was like, I can do this. I can totally lift this. We got up to 900 pounds and 800 pounds, the guys started falling off. 900 pounds, they started falling off. 1,000 pounds, it was like just obliterated most everybody. And it was down to him and I, and we were it. We both got up under 1065. I remember that. Both got up under that. I got it up. He got it up. We both cleared it. All right, we got this. And then he looked at me and he says, I'm not doing anything else. I said, well, I am. He went, fine. So we went to the next weight, 1155. He got up under it, stood up. You could see in his eyes, he was like, ooh. But he got it. He put it down. They cleared him. He got that. I went, I can do that. If he can do it, I can do it. So I got up under it. And he looked at me. He said, I am not doing another weight. This is it. I can't do any more. I almost blacked out picking that up. I said, fine, whatever. I got this. I got up under it, and they would give you 30 seconds to get the lift up and get cleared, right? 30 seconds, plenty of time. I got it up, and I couldn't get steady with it, so I had to put it back down. Then went to get it up the next time, and there my name was on the back of my shirt, and it slid down my back off of those letters. So I was like, okay, I got to change my grip. So I got up under it the third time, and I went to Plan B. Plan B was a wider stance and a lower pick with my hands to get my traps and shoulder blades up under it and kind of hip lifted up like that. When I did that, I cleared the ground. And literally all I had to do was this and look at the judge. That's it. And he would have given me the down command. I would have put it down and I would have walked away. Before I could get my eyes up, my right knee caves in, I tear my ACL, I fall down, just completely fell down. And I had to get carried off. I had to go to the ER because I went with Plan B. Plan B hurt me. That time Plan B manifested itself. It didn't work out so well. Now, here I am. This is the end of 2025. I've had knee surgery, reconstruction. My ACL was completely rebuilt. I have a tendon-based ACL that they put in there of my own flesh. It was my own tissue, and they put a metal ACL in there, like an internal brace. So I have 2 ACLs in my right knee because my right knee was obliterated. My MCL was almost torn, but it was not so bad. It needed to be fixed, so it kind of healed on its own. My menisces they're both torn, and they're both still kind of messed up. I don't know if they're ever going to completely heal. And I have a bunch of other issues, and I had cracks and fissures and fractures and all these things in my knee, in all the bones in my knee, my femur and everything. I mean, it was a lot. It was so bad that insurance deemed it like a horrible car accident. And I had to tell them over and over again, no, it was not a car accident. I was picking up a car and it fell on me. That's essentially what it was. And I got video to prove it. It's a great video. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, this year, 2025, coming to an end. I've had shoulder surgery. I've talked about that, I know. Biceps and everything. It's all been fixed. My last competition didn't go the way I had planned because I was injured. My knee was still not completely healed. It was 18 months post-injury and what we're looking at, like 16 and a half months or so post-surgery, which for an ACL and everything, to do that kind of stuff, apparently it's very difficult. I mean, you want about a year before you're cleared to do things, to train and all that stuff. And I was competing about a year and a half out, which apparently is rare. It usually takes 2 or 3 years to get back to competition shape. But I was able to do it, but I was nowhere near 100%. I was maybe 65, 75%, and it hurt. It was tough. My shoulder, I couldn't lift too much. I couldn't pull, so it hurt my deadlift and stuff at the competition. I was dealing with a lot of things, a lot of injuries. But then I've taken 2025 off. That was 2024, my last competition. Planned the surgery for this year, 2025, back in May. I've had the surgery. I've healed. I've gone through physical therapy. I've been working with it. Been watching my diet. Been trying to get lots of fitness and stuff in. And a couple months ago, I got cleared to compete. And the day I got cleared to compete, I was talking to a promoter of a show in Utah. And we've been going back and forth for a few months. And, we talked about a few things. And he asked me, and we talked about it. He asked me if I'd come out and work at the show. And I was like, well, yeah, do you want me to work or do you want me to compete? Excuse me, do you want me to work or compete? And he said, which would you rather? And I said, well, I just got cleared to compete today. I would love to compete at something, and he said, then come compete. So I got invited to compete at this competition in May of 2026 out in Utah. But I was not planning on competing. I was going to do a couple local things and try to work my way back up. And he said, no, just come on and compete. Come on. So we worked it out. The entrance fee and everything's taken care of. And now, here I am, looking at 2026, and I'm competing at the World Strength Games finals in May of 2026 in St. George, Utah. This is a huge show. There are 200 something athletes, or something around 200 athletes from all over the world. And I'm competing. I'll be a master's class, and I'm competing in the 40 to 49-year-old class in a show with athletes from around the world. This is a world level show. A huge show. Now, it's always been a goal of mine to make it to a world level show. And to get invited to compete at one is beyond what I ever thought I could do. I thought I would have to just bust and work hard. Now, I'm not saying I'm not working hard. I don't want to take anything away from any of the guys that worked really hard to achieve this, who didn't get an invite, but they earned it, right? Those guys, I have nothing but respect for those guys, okay? Nothing but respect. But it was not in the cards for me to earn it so much as it was that I was going to get invited to something. That was always going to be my goal, was to find a way to get invited to a big show if I couldn't earn it. And now I've been invited to this show. I got an official invitation to compete at the World Strength Games in St. George, Utah. And I could not be more excited about this. So we're coming to the end of 2025, and I have a goal for 2026 at the World Strength Games in St. George, Utah. Now, that's only 5 months into the year. It's in May. So I'm going to need a goal for after that. But right now, my goal is to be ready for that. And there is no plan B. I have to make it there. Now, I said all that because I wanted to go ahead and just say that I'm going to be in St. George, Utah in May of 2026. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm also just going ahead and put this out there. I'm also looking for sponsors. Anybody that can help with the expenses of getting there, or help me with supplementation or anything like that, that's fine, right? Even in kind, sponsors in kind. You want to provide some kind of equipment. I'll even do your smelling salts. Anything to help me get ready for this. I appreciate it, and I will stand for your company if it's something that we can get along with, something we can agree on. I have repped for companies in the past that I didn't necessarily agree with everything, so I don't really rep for them. So I do have some standards there, but I am looking for sponsors. Anybody that wants to help with it, let me know. Okay. I may have some t-shirts coming out soon as well. If you want to buy a t-shirt, I've decided to give myself a new moniker. I am the world's strongest phlebotomist. I am a phlebotomist at a hospital. I do work in healthcare. I do see sick people all the time. And I'll have more to say about that as time goes on. I'm also starting in January at some point. I'll have more information later. I'm starting officially starting my new business of Upgrade Fitness and Wellness consultations and consulting, helping people and gyms and anybody who wants to get the most out of their investment and out of their body, which is something you need to make an investment in. I want to help you. I want to help you with it, with nutrition, with time management, with things like that. So when that things are ready, I'll post more about that. Have some things coming up about Upgrade Fitness and Wellness Consulting. But for right now, I want to encourage you to make a goal without a plan B. No contingency plan. None. Don't make excuses. Make goals. 2026 is coming. This is your opportunity to make a goal, to make something happen. This is your opportunity to look forward, not backward, and do something and achieve something this year. All right. Good luck.